The Montreal Canadiens re-signed center Sean Monahan to a one-year extension on a team-friendly deal. A home run of a deal that could see a very healthy return for a player that needs to stay healthy this coming season to prove that at 28 years old, he's still a viable NHL player who still has a few good years left. How does this affect the Pierre-Luc Dubois rumors? And what does this mean for center Christian Dvorak, whose modified 8-team no-trade clause kicks in July 1st? All that and more right here at Talkin' Habs. Hey everybody, I'm Rick. Welcome in. So listen, even though I wasn't one of those that thought Montreal would re-sign Sean Monahan, they did. I was wrong. I still like this deal. I think this is a good deal. It's a no-risk deal for Montreal, and it's team-friendly at $1.985 million for the one season. And there's a games played bonus of $15,000, so that'll bring it up to $2 million. Why they didn't just sign him to a $2 million contract, I don't know, because $15,000 is just a drop in the bucket. But that's how it is. If Monahan can't stay healthy all season, it doesn't break the cap. And if he does stay healthy, it gives Coach Marty like a lot of options down the middle and even on the wing, because he played on the wing a little bit last season. Plus, he's a mentor to Suzuki and Doc, and that's got to be a good thing. It keeps the center depth strong, and at trade deadline time, a healthy, productive Monahan should bring back a very healthy return in the form of a first-round pick and probably more than that. Monahan has said that he loves playing here last season, and this team-friendly deal, to me, proves that. I think he enjoys being a mentor to the young players, especially Suzuki and Doc. And I mean, he said he wanted to come back, and he proved it with this team-friendly deal. I mean, he was making $6-point-something million last season. It's a big reduction in his pay, but it's a prove-me deal. He'll prove that he can stay healthy and still be productive, and they'll either move him or maybe not. So last season in 25 games played, Monahan had 6 goals, 11 assists, and 17 points. For his career, 681 games played, 218 goals, 261 assists for 479 points. He's a former first-round pick. In 2013, he was 6th overall to the Calgary Flames. He missed the final 57 games this past season after breaking a bone in his foot, and then still playing. He was seen with a walking cast on his foot, and then that night he was in the game, and he played a few games. I'm not sure exactly how many, and then they finally, shut him down. And during their rehab of the broken foot, he injured his groin from, I guess at some point he was skating, and he was skating differently, especially when he played with the broken foot, and then just in walking around and everything, and it affected his groin. Wasn't able to come back, wasn't able to be traded at the deadline because that was the plan. And they signed him again, and I guess the plan is let's try that one again. So imagine your 4 centers being Suzuki, Doc, Monahan, and Evans, or having Doc on the first line wing and Suzuki, Monahan, Devo, and Evans. I mean, there's a lot of options there for Coach Marty. At 28 years old, Monahan can still be very effective. He proved that in the 25 games, getting 17 points. Can play the wing on line 1, as we saw a bit last season. He can play center on any line. That's for sure. Provides veteran experience and leadership. And on a young team like Montreal, that's invaluable. So it's in that sense of him coming back, being an experienced veteran and providing mentorship to the young centers. I mean, that's invaluable. And at the cap hit he's got, yeah, it's a hell of a deal. He'll most likely be traded at the trade deadline, but I could see a possible, hear me out, team-friendly, longer term. And by that, I mean like maybe 4-5 year extension, maybe 3, to keep him around for 2-3 years, and then moving him kind of easily because the contract won't be expensive and there'll be hardly any term left. So I could see that, as they get to becoming contenders for the playoffs, wouldn't be bad to have a center like that around as Suzuki and Doc grow into their roles as 1 and 2 centers. Does this deal affect any trade for Pierre-Luc Dubois, and that's if the rumors are true that Montreal is in the running. I believe they are. I think it gives Montreal a little more leverage as far as cap hit goes. So if they are going to trade for him, it's going to probably be a sign and trade. They're going to negotiate a deal. It'll give them some leverage on the cap hit, not just for that reason, but also they aren't desperate for Dubois, or at a point where a player like Dubois will put him over the top. Not yet. And with a shark of a GM like Hughes, I don't see Montreal giving up too much to get Dubois or overpaying on the cap hit. As we get closer to July 1st, the Jets need to trade Pierre-Luc Dubois. It becomes more urgent. So their need really does become more urgent. So we'll see what happens over the next 11 days, because that's all, as I'm filming this, is just 11 days till July 1st. And there's got to be some movement there. Everyone's expecting that Dubois will be traded by July 1st. Monahan's $2 million cap hit won't affect any possible Pierre-Luc Dubois trade, or a trade or signing of an experienced right side defenseman, which is, it's rumored that Montreal is looking for that as well. And this signing of Monahan at $2 million is really nothing, and it's not going to affect any of that. Is Christian Dvorak expendable now? I say yes, he is, but only if Montreal adds another center, either Pierre-Luc Dubois or someone else as depth in case of injuries. And we saw how many injuries they had last season. There is the change in the medical staff, but that doesn't mean we're not going to see injuries next season. We don't know yet. So I would hedge my bet and make sure that we've got guys here for depth at center. So let me know what you think in the comments, and thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. I really do appreciate that you watched, so that, I don't have to smell you. The Habs plan this year is not just development. They would like to, I guess, as part of the development of these kids, have somewhat of a run for a playoff spot. It seems to be what I'm, read and quotes and stuff from guys in management and stuff. So it doesn't have to be Dubois, but Devo's a capable third line center, and he can play second line C if you need. If you're moving him, you need to have a plan in place in case of injuries. That's how it has to be, because injuries can happen to your top guys. So if that happens, Doc was out a lot last season. Having a guy who can play center on every line is such a good idea. And I've talked about this before. If you can have a guy that's a little different than the main center on the line, plays a bit of a different style, they can complement each other. But if he gets thrown out, one of them, you got a center. It's just a better thing. If a guy gets injured, you got another guy on that line that can play center. You can put another wing. The options are like many, and I think this is where not just Montreal, but I think a lot of NHL teams are kind of going that way. Jesus, how long was that? 12 minutes. It felt like for freaking ever. Is it still recording? Yeah. Devo will be traded, in my opinion, if Montreal adds another experienced center, Pierre-Luc Dubois or someone else, and or they move him before July 1st. Why do I say that? Is because he's got a modified no trade clause. It's only 8 teams. It's not horrible, but that kicks in July 1st. You got to think that if they can move him, that they'd like to do that before July 1st, so that their options are more wide open. But 8 teams is not horrible, but still. Now, final question to ask is, could this affect who they're selecting at the draft? So I wrote here, I really doubt that, and I really mean that. I don't see how it does. Whoever you're selecting at the draft is not going to be ready for, you got to figure at least 2-3 seasons. And I don't see how signing Monahan or not signing Monahan will affect that in 2-3 years. Let me know what you think in the comments down there, and thanks for watching. And a special thanks to these people coming up right here or there or up there. I'm not sure where. And yeah, thanks for being here. Stay safe till next time. Peace out, y'all. Ciao.